If someone doesn't go out of your mind, there are three reasons for this. You will be shocked to know. Psychology tips. The people you love, you never truly forget. You just learn to live without them. If someone refuses to leave your mind, there are three powerful reasons behind it that will completely shock you. Take a seat, breathe deeply, and pay close attention, because this isn't just some random observation. It's a truth that many of us feel but rarely truly understand. Have you ever found yourself thinking about someone, no matter the time? Whether it's morning, night, or even while you're in the middle of your busy day or deep in your own silence. No matter what you're doing, this person keeps appearing in your thoughts, like an echo that refuses to fade. And you can't help but ask, why can't I stop thinking about them? Why does their face, their voice, their very presence linger with me even when they're miles away? This feeling might leave you wondering, what's going on here? Why do I keep returning to them over and over again? Well, the truth is, there are three key psychology tips you need to understand. These aren't just simple feelings, they're profound psychological forces at work. If this person is in your heart, even though they're no longer in your life, if they appear in your dreams, even though they're silent in reality, or if their memory somehow feels more vivid than their actual presence, then one of these three reasons is definitely true. In fact, these aren't random occurrences or coincidences. They're powerful emotional truths that tap into the core of how we process relationships, attachment, and love. You might think this is just about missing someone, but it goes deeper than that. This could be a key factor in understanding how to build stronger, more meaningful connections in your life, especially when it comes to love advice and dating tips that help attract women. By the end of this, you'll have a clearer insight into why you feel the way you do and why that person just won't leave your mind, no matter how hard you try. Reason 1. Your soul recognizes something your mind cannot explain. Have you ever met someone who, in just a fleeting moment, made you feel like you've known them forever? It's like the world slows down and a strange sense of comfort washes over you. It's a feeling that's impossible to shake off, a thought that lingers in your mind no matter how hard you try to move on. But why? What's going on here? Why does your mind keep returning to them, as if there's an invisible thread tying you together? This isn't just attraction. This is something deeper, something spiritual, and it's not something you can easily explain. Imagine this. You've met countless people throughout your life, but only a few of them spark something inside you, something you can't quite put into words. These rare moments leave a mark, a memory that refuses to fade. It's like your soul recognizes something your mind simply can't comprehend. Your soul knows. It remembers. It recognizes them, even when your brain has no clue what to make of it. Why is that? Could it be that your energies matched in some mysterious way, or perhaps your silence spoke louder than words ever could? Maybe, just maybe, they awoke something deep inside you, something that had been dormant for years. You don't think of them because you want to. You think of them because your soul whispers their name, uninvited, again and again. It's not just about a passing encounter, it's about something so profound, so intense, that your mind keeps replaying the moments, searching for answers it doesn't have. Here's the thing. Some people come into your life not as strangers, but as reminders, reminders of who you really are, of what you truly deserve, of what love feels like, and of what you've been seeking, sometimes without even realizing it. This is no ordinary connection. It's a force, a pull, something you can't easily forget. Let's dive deeper. When your soul connects with someone, it's not random. No, this connection is spiritual, emotional, deep. It's the kind of bond that can't just be erased like an old contact in your phone. It's something that stays with you, almost like a ghost, hovering in your thoughts. This is where the mystery begins. You don't just think of them because of fleeting attraction. Your mind is struggling to decode something your heart already knows, something your soul has recognized from the very start. What's really going on here? Why does this connection feel so out of the ordinary? The truth is, it's tied to a deep part of your psyche. It could be a past life connection, a mirror of your inner self, or simply the universe sending you a message that's too powerful to ignore. And trust me, your mind will keep coming back to it, turning it over and over like a puzzle that refuses to be solved, until the lesson it's meant to teach you is learned. But how can you understand what's happening? This is where psychology tips come in. When you feel a deep, unexplained bond with someone, it's usually because your energies align in a way that transcends simple attraction. Your subconscious mind is at work here, and it's picking up on things that your conscious mind might not even notice. These kinds of connections serve a greater purpose. They're not just about fleeting moments of romance or infatuation. No, they're about awakening something inside you. They remind you of your worth, your potential, and your deepest desires. They push you to look inward and reflect on who you really are and what you truly need. This is where love advice and dating tips come into play. Understanding that not every connection is meant to last forever allows you to appreciate the profound impact these moments can have. Even if the connection is short lived, it could very well be the catalyst for personal growth, for a deeper understanding of yourself, and for your ability to love more fully. So, what should you do when someone refuses to leave your mind? Don't just brush it off. Don't ignore it. This is a message, a sign, something that's trying to get your attention. Embrace it. Let it teach you. Don't be afraid to dive into the emotions it stirs in you. Let them lead you to a better understanding of what you're truly seeking in life and in love. This isn't a coincidence. It's your soul at work, trying to guide you to a place of greater awareness. The next time you can't stop thinking about someone, don't question it. Don't try to erase them from your thoughts. Instead, lean into it, embrace it, and ask yourself why your soul is pulling you towards them. There's a deeper message hidden in this connection, one that could transform the way you see yourself and the way you approach relationships. Trust that your soul knows what it needs, and sometimes it needs a reminder of what love truly feels like. This is where you begin to understand the true power of attraction and connection. So, be open to it, because your soul has found something extraordinary. Let it teach you the lessons you need to learn. Reason 2. You have unfinished emotional business with them. If someone keeps occupying your thoughts, there are three powerful psychological reasons behind it that might just shock you. First, let's dive into the idea of unfinished emotional business. You might think you're obsessed with a person, but the reality is, it's not the person you're stuck on, it's the unresolved emotions that tie you to them. Perhaps you never expressed your true feelings. Maybe you never got the closure you needed, or maybe the timing was just off. Life can get messy and situations can change in the blink of an eye, but your heart doesn't care about any of that. It only understands emotions, and when those emotions are left hanging, unspoken, or unresolved, your mind won't let them go. Your mind keeps circling back, like a tape stuck in a loop, repeatedly bringing up thoughts of that person and what could have been. Why? Because you never finished the emotional story, and now it's unfinished business that your heart insists on revisiting. This is why their name pops into your head at the oddest moments, why their memory can strike you out of nowhere, why old conversations, messages, and promises replay in your mind like a broken record. It's as if your heart is trying to complete a chapter that was abruptly cut off. And it's not them you're obsessed with, it's the story that wasn't allowed to unfold fully. This is where many of us get stuck. We keep wondering, why did it end the way it did? What if things were different? What if I had said what I really felt? What if they knew how important they were to me? Could we ever make it work again? Your mind gets trapped in this loop of what ifs and why nots, desperately seeking closure. But closure doesn't come from them or the situation, it comes from you. The truth is, until you make peace with the past, you'll keep circling back to it. Your mind refuses to let go of that unfinished business until you've either accepted it, released it, or found a way to bring that chapter to a meaningful close. This, my friend, is one of the most crucial psychology tips to understand when you're dealing with lingering thoughts about someone. You're not just thinking about them, you're grappling with emotions that were left unresolved. If you want to move forward, you must confront this emotional residue. It's not just about attracting women or getting over a relationship. It's about emotional healing and growth. You have to understand that your heart will keep drawing you back to that moment until you've found a way to give it closure. Whether it's through acceptance, letting go, or through a reunion, the power to move on is in your hands. And remember, these are the kinds of powerful psychological insights and love advice that can truly help you break free from that emotional cycle. It's important to understand that dating tips aren't just about finding the right person. They're also about understanding yourself and the emotional baggage that may be holding you back. You must take control of your mind and your heart. When you can, only then will you be able to release those past feelings and create space for new connections and opportunities. One of the best examples that perfectly illustrates this concept comes from the movie 500 Days of Summer. In this film, Tom, played by Joseph Gordon Levitt, can't seem to get over Summer, Zoe Deschanel, even after their relationship ends. The film masterfully portrays how Tom isn't stuck on Summer because of love, but because of unresolved feelings. He's not obsessing over her, he's obsessing over the what ifs and the emotional closure he never got. Throughout the movie, Tom keeps replaying their relationship in his mind, wondering what went wrong, what he could have said, or if he could have done something differently. He asks himself, why did it end like that? What if I had expressed my feelings? What if I had said what I needed to say? This constant replaying of memories, the old messages, the moments they shared, it's as if his heart is trying to finish a story that was abruptly cut off. But the truth is, Tom isn't stuck on Summer herself. He's stuck on the emotional loop that never got resolved. Tom's mind keeps returning to the idea of what could have been, just like many of us do when we have unfinished emotional business with someone. He wants closure, but the only way to get it is through acceptance and emotional release. Tom spends the entire film navigating through these unresolved feelings, unable to move forward until he realizes that closure can only come from within himself, not from Summer or the circumstances. 500 Days of Summer perfectly shows that sometimes we aren't hung up on the person, but on the unfinished emotions that we haven't processed yet. Reason 3. They are also thinking about you more than you realize. When someone stays on your mind, it's not just by chance. It's often because they are thinking about you more than you realize. The connection you share with them runs deeper than simple proximity. You may not be speaking to each other, you may not even be part of each other's daily lives, but that doesn't change the fact that thoughts transcend time and space. You feel it, even if you don't understand how. The invisible force of energy doesn't need words to communicate. Hearts don't need permission to send signals. When someone is thinking about you, when they miss you quietly, or when they regret losing you, their energy reaches out, and in turn, you sense it. This is why, out of the blue, you might suddenly think about them. It's why you feel that pull, that connection, that inexplicable ache in your chest. It's not a coincidence. It's a connection. The pull you feel is your heart responding to theirs. You might think that you're simply recalling a memory, but in reality, you're feeling their silent thoughts, their hidden longing. As the old Stoic philosophy teaches us, the things we love tell us what we are. That love or attachment you feel, whether it's mutual or one-sided, reveals a connection that cannot easily be severed. Even if distances grow, egos clash, or life circumstances push you apart, there is an invisible thread that binds you. This unseen bond might explain why, in moments of solitude, you recall a name, a smile, a moment you thought was long gone. It's not your imagination at work, it's their energy that reaches across time and space. This is the psychology behind the way you feel, and understanding it puts you in a position of control. Recognize that when someone occupies your mind, it's often because they are doing the same with you. As a high-value man, understanding these dynamics of human connection is vital to mastering your life and relationships. It is about learning how to direct your energy, how to harness these emotions for growth, and how to not be caught in the web of lingering feelings that hold you back. Stoicism teaches us to be masters of our emotions, to recognize the internal forces that influence our thoughts, and to accept that we are not always in control of the people around us, but we can always control how we respond. Don't be fooled into thinking it's just a passing moment or coincidence when someone comes to mind. It's deeper. It's their energy calling to yours. Your mind and soul are picking up signals just as much as their heart is pulling towards you. Recognizing this connection makes you stronger, sharper, and ultimately more in control of your emotional landscape. As the ancient Stoics believed, he who is brave is free. Understanding the psychology of these unspoken bonds and how they affect you allows you to navigate life with strength, wisdom, and purpose. Embrace the power you have over your own emotions, and never forget that you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Reason 4. They're a mirror of something within you that needs healing. Ever met someone who just pushes your buttons without even trying? It's like they say or do the smallest thing, and suddenly you're hit with emotions you weren't expecting, maybe anger, frustration, or even deep sadness. But what's odd is that when you step back, it's not really about them at all. It's about you, about something inside you that they've triggered, something that's been buried for a long time. That person may be reflecting back something within you that's in need of healing. They might not even know it, but they're showing you the parts of yourself you've been avoiding, the wounds you've been hiding, and the scars that still need attention. It might sound strange, even unsettling, but the truth is, these people aren't in your life by accident. They're like mirrors, reflecting pieces of yourself that you haven't fully confronted yet. And while it might be uncomfortable to face these hidden parts, it's actually a powerful opportunity. Sometimes, the people who challenge us the most are the ones who help us heal in ways we never expected. But here's the thing, while this may feel uncomfortable or unsettling, it's actually a gift. These people show up in your life not by accident, but because they are there to help you heal. They are the catalyst you need to finally confront the parts of yourself that have been ignored for far too long. They're holding up a mirror, reflecting the pain you've carried with you and giving you the opportunity to acknowledge it, to heal it. Think about it. When we're triggered by someone's behavior, it's often because there's something in us that feels off, something we haven't fully dealt with. That anger you feel when they say something that hits too close to home, or that sadness that overwhelms you when they remind you of a loss you haven't fully processed, it's all connected. They're not just causing these feelings, they're revealing them, making them impossible to ignore any longer. But why is this so important? Because healing can't happen until we first acknowledge the wounds we carry. If we don't recognize the pain, we can't heal it. And sometimes, it takes someone or something outside of us to make us aware of what's been festering inside. This person is helping you recognize what's been hidden from view, and in doing so, they are giving you the chance to do the work needed to move forward. It might not be easy. It might require you to revisit painful memories or uncomfortable emotions. But on the other side of that discomfort lies growth. The more you heal these parts of yourself, the more you'll find that you no longer react the same way to the things that once triggered you. You'll start to feel lighter, freer, and more at peace with who you are. So, the next time you feel unsettled or challenged by someone, don't rush to push them away. Instead, ask yourself, what are they showing me about myself? What part of my heart or mind do they reflect back to me that needs attention? In doing so, you might just discover the key to your own healing. Because the truth is, we are all mirrors for each other, and sometimes, the things that make us uncomfortable are the very things that hold the power to set us free. Reason 5. There's a deeper connection or bond that hasn't been fully explored yet. Have you ever felt like there's something more between you and someone? Something unspoken, hidden beneath the surface, lingering in the air when you're together? Maybe it's not love, but it's something undeniable, an energy, a pull, a connection that defies explanation. It's almost like there's an invisible thread tying you to them, pulling you together in ways that don't make sense, at least not on the surface. If you've experienced this, then you're not imagining things. There's a deeper connection or bond between you two that hasn't been fully explored yet. But what does that mean? Why does this person seem to resonate with you so profoundly, even though you haven't fully figured them out? It's not just a coincidence. There's something happening behind the scenes, something much more powerful than you can see with your eyes or understand with your mind. The connection you feel could be reaching far beyond the present moment. It's as if you've crossed paths for a reason, though that reason remains unclear, like a puzzle you're yet to solve. Think about it. Not all relationships are simple. Some people come into your life and change you, even if just for a brief moment. But some people, they linger. They occupy a deeper part of your mind and heart. You might be unaware of the intensity of the bond, but it's there, growing quietly, waiting for the right time to surface. The thing is, we tend to overlook these kinds of connections because they don't fit the typical narrative. You're not falling head over heels in love, and you're not caught up in a dramatic situation. Instead, you're experiencing something subtler, but possibly more profound. What if this connection isn't random? What if it's been developing for a long time, even before you met? It's possible that your paths were meant to cross, that the universe, or whatever you believe in, orchestrated this meeting for a reason. Maybe it's an unresolved connection from the past, one that you couldn't explore at the time. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a bond that's meant to grow over time, at its own pace, evolving into something that could change both your lives. But one thing is certain: the depth of this connection goes far beyond what you've experienced so far. Now, let's take it even further. This bond may have layers that you haven't yet peeled back. Perhaps you're sensing fragments of this connection, the way you understand each other with just a glance, the way their presence feels so comfortable yet unfamiliar, or how you seem to come alive when you're around them. You've only scratched the surface, and the truth is, you won't fully understand the depth of this bond until you're brave enough to explore it more deeply. The beauty of this connection lies in the mystery of it all. It's like a book with pages you haven't read yet. It's a story still unfolding, and while you might be confused, you're also curious. You know there's something worth discovering, something that could change everything, but only if you're willing to dive in and see where it leads. There's no rush. Life has a funny way of leading us to exactly where we need to be, and this connection might not make sense right now, but that's okay. It's teaching you patience, understanding, and perhaps most importantly, the willingness to allow the bond to reveal itself in time. This deeper connection, though mysterious, could be one of the most powerful and transformative forces in your life. So don't ignore it. Don't brush it aside because it doesn't fit into the neatly packaged expectations of relationships. Embrace the unknown, and you might just uncover a bond that could change everything you thought you knew about connection. It's waiting for you to take that next step, and when you do, you'll be shocked at the power it holds. Reason 6. They have an impact on your life that you haven't fully acknowledged or understood. Have you ever found yourself obsessing over someone, even though you can't quite put your finger on why? It's like they occupy a place in your mind, lingering there longer than you'd expect. But here's the thing: the reason they're constantly on your mind might not be as straightforward as you think. What if they're impacting your life in ways you haven't fully realized yet? The truth is, they could be influencing your thoughts, emotions, and even decisions without you even knowing it. Think about this: people don't just enter our lives by chance. Every interaction, every relationship, no matter how small, leaves a trace. Sometimes that trace is so subtle, so hidden beneath the surface, that we're not aware of how deeply it's affecting us. You may think it's just a fleeting thought or an idle distraction, but what if this person is affecting you at a deeper, more profound level than you've ever considered? Perhaps they're a catalyst for something inside of you, a part of your soul or psyche that's been dormant or unresolved. The way they challenge your beliefs, the way they make you feel, it could be revealing aspects of yourself that you've ignored, feared, or never thought to explore. This person might represent something you're meant to confront in your own life, whether it's an old wound, a dream you've let go of, or an unresolved question that's been lingering in the back of your mind. They might be unknowingly triggering this process of self discovery, forcing you to look at parts of yourself that you've kept hidden for a reason. But here's the kicker: it's not always a negative influence. Sometimes, these people are impacting your life in ways that empower you, that push you to become a better version of yourself. Maybe they're a mirror, reflecting your potential, your desires, your unspoken dreams. They could be the reason you're starting to question your path, to think bigger, to take risks you wouldn't have otherwise considered. Without even realizing it, they might be the ones urging you to grow, to evolve, to rise above the limitations you've set for yourself. Now, let's take it a step further. What if they've also unknowingly entered your life because they're part of a bigger picture, one you haven't yet grasped? The impact they have might not be immediately obvious, but it could be leading you to something extraordinary: a new opportunity, a life-changing realization, or even a transformative relationship. But until you fully understand the role they're playing, you won't be able to connect the dots. You see, the mind is an incredible thing, but it's also limited. We often try to make sense of everything, to fit pieces of the puzzle into neat, logical categories. But life isn't always that simple. People come into our lives for reasons we can't always comprehend. They might be guiding us, influencing us, or challenging us to confront things we didn't know we needed to confront. In short, the person who is constantly on your mind might not just be occupying your thoughts by chance. Their impact on your life could be far greater than you realize. It's time to stop ignoring the signs, to look deeper into the connection, and to uncover the hidden influence they might have on your journey. You'll be shocked by what you discover. Reason 7. They're here to teach you a valuable lesson you haven't yet learned. Have you ever felt like life keeps putting the same kind of person or situation in your path over and over again? You might find yourself stuck in repetitive cycles, attracting the same kind of people, having the same arguments, or facing similar challenges, and no matter what you do, you just can't seem to break free. It's as if the universe is sending you a message, but you're not quite getting it yet. The person who keeps crossing your path might be here to teach you a lesson you haven't fully understood, but that's exactly why they're on your mind. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary interaction or even something you'd rather avoid. But if this person keeps showing up, it's a sign that there's something important for you to learn. Perhaps they're pushing you to set boundaries you've never had before, forcing you to confront insecurities you've long buried, or encouraging you to stop settling for less than you deserve. The universe often works in mysterious ways, and sometimes it takes these seemingly random encounters with others to bring us closer to the lessons we need to learn in life. What's fascinating is that we often resist these lessons. We don't like being uncomfortable, and it's much easier to ignore things than to face them head on. But every time you resist the lesson, the situation becomes more intense, more demanding. The more you fight it, the more it will continue to appear until you learn what it's trying to teach you. This person, with their words or actions, is offering you a chance to grow, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. What lesson are they here to teach you? It might be about self-respect, self-love, or the importance of trust. It might be teaching you to be more patient, to communicate better, or to step outside your comfort zone and take risks. If you're not sure what the lesson is yet, take a step back and reflect. What patterns are you noticing in your interactions with this person? What emotions keep bubbling to the surface? These are the clues that will help you uncover the lesson waiting for you. In the end, the people who challenge us the most are often the ones who teach us the greatest lessons. Once you learn that lesson, you'll find that the situation loses its power over you. You'll break free from the cycle and feel a sense of peace, knowing that you've grown and evolved through the process. Reason 8. They're a catalyst for your personal transformation. Have you ever felt like you're on the verge of something big, like you're on the cusp of a major breakthrough or transformation, but you just can't figure out what's missing? Maybe it's as if there's something inside of you that's been dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. That person who keeps entering your thoughts might be the catalyst for the personal transformation you've been seeking. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day hustle of life that we forget about our own potential for growth. We settle into routines, become complacent, and stop challenging ourselves to become the person we know we're meant to be. But every so often, life has a way of throwing someone our way who shakes us out of our comfort zone and forces us to take a good look at ourselves. They may not even realize it, but just by being in your life, they are pushing you to evolve in ways you didn't think were possible. This person might inspire you to step outside of the life you've built, to challenge your beliefs, or to take risks you've been avoiding. Maybe they embody qualities you admire, but have yet to cultivate in yourself, like confidence, courage, or ambition. Or perhaps their presence stirs up emotions or memories that force you to address unresolved issues you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, their impact is undeniable. They're awakening something inside of you that's been dormant for too long. Transformation is rarely easy. It's uncomfortable, messy, and often full of self-doubt. But growth doesn't happen without discomfort. The person who keeps appearing in your life is a mirror for the change you're ready to embrace, even if you don't fully understand it yet. They may not be the reason for the transformation, but they're certainly the spark that ignites it. So, if you find yourself thinking about this person constantly, it might be because they are playing a crucial role in your journey of personal evolution. They're showing you the parts of yourself that are ready to grow and giving you the push you need to step into your next phase. Embrace the change, lean into the discomfort, and allow this person to be the catalyst for the transformation you've been waiting for. You might be surprised at just how much you're capable of when you're finally ready to unlock your full potential. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Remember, if someone keeps lingering in your mind, don't blame yourself. Don't think you're weak, stuck, or foolish. Our hearts are wiser than we realize. You're thinking about them because your soul recognized something rare. Your emotions carry an unfinished story, or their energy is silently calling your name. Whatever the reason, it means that the connection was meaningful. It touched you, it changed you, and it awakened you. That's why your heart refuses to erase it easily. Some people may not stay in your life forever, but they stay in your heart forever. Some people leave, but they leave something inside you that never fades. Some people walk out, but their presence keeps walking inside your mind. This is not a weakness. This is not desperation. This is not an obsession. This is humanity. This is emotion. This is the truth. And maybe, just maybe, the story between you and this person isn't over yet. Maybe one day things will start again. Maybe closure will come. Maybe communication will return. Maybe healing will happen. Maybe the universe will write a new chapter for both of you. But until then, honor your feelings. Understand your heart. And trust this: nothing stays in your mind without a reason. There is always a message behind every memory. Welcome to Blessing of Stoicism. If you're curious about the hidden truths of the mind and heart, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a fact that could change the way you see life.